Push the weight and now flex. The live is 1 in the 6. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You a runner, motherfucker, high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker, never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I got an attitude and I got a chip on my shoulder, and we're going to get right to it. Big brother Stormy B-Man's in the building. Salute to you. And let's just get to it. Troy Fox in the building. How are you?
I'm all right. How about y'all?
Man, we doing good. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And we ain't here to pull no punches. You ain't got to hide nothing. All right, we're going to get it all out. Man. Appreciate your time. Let's get to the nitty gritty. First and foremost, everyone that watches my show, they know that I despise and I detest cheating in boxing. This is a combat sport. This is not a sport where you could pop a pill and hit a baseball a little harder, grab a football and pound the fuck in through the end zone and score a touchdown. This is combat sports. All right, you're playing with people's lives. All right, it's bad enough. We've had a lot of deaths in the ring, and these guys are professional athletes. All right, and when you do things like take performance enhancement drugs and do all kinds of weird things, 2 gloves, to me, that warrants jail time. So thank you for your time. I want you to tell the audience, for those that don't know who you are, let them know who you are, brother.
Troy Fox. Boxing trainer. I'm the father of Michael Fox and Alontes Fox, and I guess we're here on the issue with Michael Fox. So I've been training for. That's all we need. Is that part of a little history or what?
Man, listen. Let's just get to it. Get to it. Thank God for your eyes, because I'm telling you right now. All right, I've never went pro. I never even went amateur, but I know my way around the ring. And I've seen some things. That, what you show on your Instagram, I've never seen that in my life. Never seen that. Please explain to the audience exactly what that was.
Okay, it's basically called, they call it skin in the glove. It's pretty much illegal now. But at a certain point in time, when gloves wasn't monitored, because you're not really tampering with the actual glove, you're just tampering with the way you put the glove on. So it's been done. A lot of old coaches know it. So what you do is you can actually pinch the leather back on the glove, and once it's back and you get the little gap, you got to tie over it. You got to tie over it tight, and then you put the tape over so you can't see. So when he actually makes his fist, the leather's tighter on his knuckles. It pushes his knuckles into the padding, so he'll get a harder punch. You'll get more knuckle to bone than you would with the padding that's designed to be there. So it's not. I mean, you don't get no jail time for skinning the glove. I tell you that now, because jail time if you mess with the padding or put some in the padding or put some type of device or some metal thing or plaster Paris or whatever you do that's jailable. Skinning the glove is frowned upon, but I mean, it's done so much. You shouldn't do it. Let's say for the safety of fighters, it shouldn't be done. But it's an old school technique that probably any trainer over 60 knows, because that was probably regular putting on the gloves back in the day. Now let me do it, and they did it a certain way. It wasn't really. I don't even know how long it's been since it's been frowned upon. It was something that was taught to me, but since I've been kind of on pro fights, usually the commissioners in there, they watch you put it on. If you're in a big place and a good with a good commission, they watch you put it on. So after you wrap the hands, they'll keep your gloves till you're ready to put them on. They go to put your gloves on. You tie the gloves in front of the commission. You tape up your tape in front of the commission. Then you use their duct tape in front of the commission and tape up. The commission signs off, and then it goes. So when you're skinning the glove, this is kind of my point of it. There's no way you can skin a glove without a commissioner either not saying like, what are you doing to this glove? Because it takes time. It's not something you can just do real quick unless you're that good. You know, when I seen people do it, you gotta take it, you gotta pull the leather. Might even need 2 people do it unless you're really that good. Somebody gotta hold the leather, somebody get to get the strings, tie the strings real tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process that needs to be done. It has to be watched. On that fight, you could tell when he removed the high tape, the string was there. The string was above the crease. So you can actually put the string anywhere on the wrist. You don't have to put the string that high. That's why I said, I mean, it was obvious skin job. But I don't know what they do. Like I said, all this fights been in Colombia, been in Venezuela. They might not know. So I mean, it should have been on the commission right there saying, hey, that it's too. It was an inch higher than the crease. I mean, it wasn't even really a good skin job. Knowing you wanted to be a little high, and sometimes you can just, if it's done good, you can just see like the leather being pulled, and you can say, the skin in the glove is over it, but it has to be over the crease, but not that high. I mean, that was like a blatant. That's why I said maybe they don't know, because it was blatantly high. You could see it from a mile away if you know what you're looking for. If you know that tape shouldn't be no higher than the crease, and you got the tape an inch over the crease, they could be pulling the leather back on the glove. That's why they say stop at the crease.
You know why I would go as far as to say that they did know, and this is just my opinion. I would say that they did know because of the outcome of the damn fight. There's no way Mike lost that fight. No way. No way. Absolutely
I
not.
didn't see that.
And
I didn't see no way of that.
If y'all had skin job glove, Mike would have had a 2nd round knockout. Would he have not?
Let's say there's 2 things that happen with skin in the glove. You either get the guy out there, but in a long fight, you might start breaking your knuckles. I mean, the padding in your wrap is there for a reason, to protect the knuckles. Right. So, I mean, if you notice, like say in Margarita's fight, when he kind of got one, I forgot which one. I'm thinking it's a Shane. No, the Cotto fight. You look at his hand wraps after the fight, his hand wraps had blood on them. How do you get blood on your hand wraps? Unless a dude, I mean, Cotto was bleeding a lot, but how do you get them on like the knuckle part and stuff? That probably was really, that might have been a little bit of Margarita blood or whatever he had in there hitting them. It probably busted his knuckles. But normally, if you see blood or blood coming through the gauze or something like that, or the gauze is bloody, unless this guy was just bleeding profusely and blood everywhere, you know what I'm saying? It could be something in that glove. It could be something that normally you can get away with stuff like that. Like, why is there blood all the way on these on the clean gauze? So gauze shouldn't get dirt. Even after any fight, gauze gets wet. It might get a little sort of dingy, but it's still clean. When it comes out, it's not bloody. I've never seen nobody with bloody gauze. You know what I'm saying? So that's a telltale too, because you can do a lot of damage to your hand if you don't get the guy up out of it.
Absolutely. Stormy, go ahead, bro.
First, I want to say salute to Coach Fox there, and thank you for being with us this evening. I had the fortune, yes, sir. I had the fortune of interviewing your son last Monday. Myself in Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. He was on Monday evening with us, and you've got a great young man there. He's well spoken, well representing. I like where he has his head on his shoulders, and of course, you know, when it's like that, you get the credit. You know what I mean? Just like they want to blame you if there's something wrong, right? So we're giving you your flowers for what you're doing with your son, and I think he's an outstanding boxer as well. What I wanted to say is, when you were talking about and describing the skinning of the gloves, something that I learned, because I've worked in the gym, I've coached as well here in Chicago, is where I'm out of. I learned something early on when we were doing, you know, wrapping hands and putting the gloves on for guys that spar. And I have seen the technique of taking the laces of the gloves and pulling it back over the leather. When you tie that down and you pull it down like that over the leather of the glove, which is similar to what you're talking about. But if you go to tape, then that helps pull it as well. But my question to you is this. You remember there was a time when we didn't have like logos on the gloves. Like now there's a lot of advertising. So it's easier to see it now. Would you not agree when you have like Everlast or you've got the Grant emblem on there and everything, you can actually see where those emblems are. And when the gloves were just straight a solid color, you couldn't see that necessarily. You just have to know what to look for as a coach. And now you're seeing these people try to act innocently, you know, knowing what they're doing, but thinking that they could get away with things because there's a number of coaches in the sport today that are not versed in what to look for in that aspect of preparations for a fight. Because we got a lot of guys who have come into the sport, guys who are dads like yourself, but haven't taken the time to really learn the craft themselves from the coaching standpoint. You see, you were fortunate that you had that sight and insight to what to look for, but there are a number of guys who did not. And again, my question to you is, do you think that with the fact of the advertising and everything now, that helps to discover these things? But when we didn't have that not long ago, that some guys could even get away with that then.
No, I don't think it really will make. I mean, the gloves gonna have the creases. It's really, you really can tell by the leather shouldn't be pulled when it's tied. You shouldn't see any pulls coming in leather. Number one, that you shouldn't see that. But I don't think even with the non-logo glove, it ain't harder. It's because you're looking at the crease of the glove. You're only gonna give it so much under the crease of the glove, you know. So it's kind of based on looking at the tape. There's good jobs and bad jobs, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of just based on looking at the tape. And, you know, like you said, if you see it done in sparring, unless you just got a coach that's just evil, you know what I'm saying? They're just evil. Because, I mean, I've seen some dirty stuff done in sparring as far as guys wetting their hand wraps. I've seen guys wet their hand wraps and put it in a glove. You catch them in the bathroom or something, they come out, their hand wraps are so their punch is heavy. You know, if you to that point where you got to manipulate a glove to spar, I mean, you don't really understand the sport anyway. You're just really trying to hurt people. I mean, you should be learning from sparring. You know, if your goal is to knock everybody out sparring, I mean, unless you plan on just knocking everybody out, you know, that's just really trying to hurt somebody. You know, you should be learning and growing from anytime you get out that ring. I don't care if a guy gets the best of you, you should learn something from it. You didn't learn anything from it, is a waste of sparring. So, I mean, you know, older guy, you know, some people do it because that's the way they think you tie gloves. That's how they were taught. That's why I said I can't really go with. I can't say he wasn't cheating, but I can honestly say I've seen older dudes go to tie the gloves, and that's just how they tie. It wasn't a matter of like nobody was like, shh, like hold up, we got to do this while they ain't looking, blah blah blah. That's just how they tie gloves. And then somebody might say, "No, you can't do that. It's skin the glove," and they be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, all right." And they know no better, to be honest. That's how they was trained. It's not until like commissions came along, and held gloves and did stuff and did other things. Look at all the little story they had on Showtime about the guy. He took the gloves in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So where was that commissioner? You know, it's. I mean, if it was just a big ring of cheating, then I had to say it. But they had to really do a lot. Bottom line is, I really don't think that they thought Mike could beat this guy. This guy was a 2-time Olympian, and he was willing to fight Mike. And they just probably said, okay, you know, I don't think he's gonna beat him. The problem was Mike just fought him too good. If Mike would have maybe lost maybe 4 or 5 rounds, they probably would have took it. Nobody been saying anything. But Mike went out there, put on a hell of a performance. That was one of the proudest times I've ever seen him fight. You know, one of the best situations. He went up there and he just maybe did too much. You know what I'm saying? They expected him maybe we give him about 4 rounds. That way we can easily just flip it that way. But it was just too lopsided. Right. It was just too lopsided to let go.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. My only thing is, due to what we found out as far as the judging was concerned, that gives me reasonable cause to believe that the fix was in from top to bottom. And you made a great point that it's up to the commissions to catch those things. If if the trainers and the people are in the camp are not up on the rules, the commissions are supposed to. So when you send commissions in there, they're supposed to know what to look for. He got out the locker room and got to the ring, and the commissions was all over that. In fact, the ref went to the corner and
they
said,
wasn't all over that, you mean?
that's what I mean. They weren't all over that. They was, well, they were, but they let it go. The WBA, they let that rock, so that when they got to the ring, even the ref had to, he said, who signed off on these? And I heard someone in Maestro's corner say, not me. So they knew there was something
that's
wrong.
what gets me, because it was that quick. Because he would have been like, Deborah was watching. Or giving, he's like, that was too quick to me. That was too quick. He said, it wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Yep.
You know, like a kid. Who broke this? Wasn't me. The first person did it. Even though it wasn't you. You know who did it. You know what this is about. Because you was too quick. He wasn't saying, if he'd have been like, that's all, it doesn't have a signature, then I'd have been like, okay, but that was one of the things. Like I said, I don't know how deep the cheating been. I don't really feel that they thought they had to cheat that much. I think sometimes you have commissions that really have unqualified people in there. They're just getting their stuff in order. To be honest, right now boxing is looking for open spots, people that are lightest on COVID, so they can throw shows. I mean, Minnesota throws shows, but they got a bunch of shows out of Minnesota. Why? Because they're wide open. There's no fear of them stopping this fight. Certain commissions are like going in and out. Oh yeah, well, they're calling due to this new variant, we're going to shut the numbers down again. So they keep going to like Georgia and these places right here where they can kind of get away, and they don't have the biggest commissions. That's all to it. They don't have the biggest boxing commissions. I've been back there with commissioners that I've told, go get your supervisor, because you don't know what you're talking about. I can rap like this. Go get your supervisor. And sometimes a guy say, well, I understand what you're saying, but not in this state. And sometimes guys come back and say he's right. You had that wrong. He's right. You know, so, and some of the guys they got there back there, the commissioners, I don't know how they got the jobs. And this is anywhere. I've been to California, had terrible commissioners, you know, didn't know nothing, had to all keep going, talk to you. I've been to Vegas. Yeah, you're going to have it everywhere. So I'm just giving benefit of the doubt, but it does look like, I still want that question. How come there was no signature? And how come this guy didn't know? And who's responsible for it? Somebody had to be back there, because I know there was somebody back there with us the whole time, and we didn't get our gloves, and she was there when we taped. She was there to sign off. She signed. I know she signed up on the raps. You know what I'm saying? So it was there somebody the whole time. But even with wrapping the hands, the guy sent over there was like, the way they were trying to wrap hands was terrible. So my whole thing is, if you got a guy watching you and you're doing this, are you just thinking he's this dumb that I can do it? Or you just not know it's cheating? That's what makes you say, if you're doing it. Now, if he would have been trying to get my guy's attention on looking hit and then trying to sneak stuff in, but he's watching you directly, saying you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't put tape and then put gauze over tape and then put more tape on. You can't do that. Right. You know? So, and my guy was right. That's what took him so long to rap in the first place. So, I mean, it was a lot of shady stuff going on. I'm not going to just come out and say, oh, yeah, they were just cheating. But, you know, facts can speak for themselves.
Yeah, facts do speak for themselves. And, you know, I can understand you're kind of looking at the cup half full instead of half empty. You're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I come from a different mindset. Granted, the atmosphere of boxing overall, the WBC has failed us, and now the WBA has failed us. And maybe I'd look at it like you, maybe a little bit, if the thing with Gloria didn't come out. The judging was horrible all around. But then when it was discovered that this woman was a full-blown racist, and she's in there judging your son, who had a stellar performance, and not only did she have him losing, and it was, listen, if I'm coaching or if I'm the fighter and I look down and I see her, I might pull out the fight right there. I'm like, yo, look, that woman right there, I'm already down 5 rounds, and one of them is a 10-8. I'm already down because that woman's a racist. She don't like me because of my skin tone. That's just it. And that came out. You look, we're in an era where everything we do now on this social media thing, this broadcast right now, It's here. And this is what we go through. His service died. He should be back though. But family, this is the type of time we're on right now. You know, I'm at a point where I'm not looking at the conversation half empty. I mean, half full. They failed us. The sport of boxing, they're failing us right in our face. Right in our face. I have a picture of two goons up here right now. Alejandro Davila, who just tried to cheat Austin Trout. Miguel Roman, who tried to cheat Usyk Foster. You know, this fat chitlin Tyson Fury. And Gabriel Mastri, who they did that to Michael Fox. All right? They have boxing, the WBC, the WBA, everybody. They have some explaining to do. They have some explaining to do. This is ridiculous. Now everyone sees this is not our imagination. And we told people this right after when Glovegate came out. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're making it up. Oh, you're playing a race card." What happened after that? Usyk Foster. He'll come back in. Usyk Foster situation happened right off of that. And this fella right here, Alejandro. Do y'all know what happened the other day? Just yesterday? Was it yesterday? Y'all know what just happened in Dubai? Let me bring you up to speed. Austin Trout fought this dude, beat him, but there was some glove controversy. Let me bring you guys up to speed. Bobby Benton, to all trainers out there, make sure you check everything on your opponent. Last night in Dubai, our opponent was about to start rapping, and Hollywood texted me and said, "Come check the pads." I get over there, the pads were soaking wet. When I called him on it, he said it was cold in here, shaking my head. We are already in a brutal sport. These guys are making it more dangerous. Safety of the fighter is what they always say. And then they let stuff like this go on. Good catch by Hollywood, Austin Trout. And what is he talking about? Now, Usyk Foster. Now, mind you, this was brought to my attention by our family, Tay Jones. This is the second time my trainer, Bobcat JBC, and Team Hollywood caught someone cheating with the hand wraps. This is Austin Trout's fight in Dubai. We need the sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA boxing, and the IBF, to step up and help out even more. So as you can see, this is not our imagination. This is not a narrative. They like to throw that word around now. This is not a narrative. This is not something we're making up. This is happening in real time. In real time. So when we say, yo, Fury's gloves look crazy. He can't bust a grape. Now he's fracturing skulls. Deontay Wilder got poisoned. No, he didn't. I play a video all the time. Tyson, don't drink no more water because it's none of ours. Why would he say that? And then legitimately not drink any more water. What? Because, I'm sorry, cheating happens in boxing. Because when someone says, yo, cheating, it don't happen in boxing, ask them. Ask any pro when Mr. Fox comes back, if he comes back. Is cheating possible in boxing? He's going to say yes. If the person says, oh, well, it's possible in boxing, but it didn't happen to Deontay. Okay, I already know where your head's at. So you're DQ'd. You don't even have to talk to me anymore in reference to that situation. I already know where your head's at. I ain't saying about anything about wild punches and windmill. I ain't saying nothing. I asked you a serious question. Is there cheating in boxing? You said yes. I have Troy Fox over here. They just tried to do his son dirty. In my opinion, they tried to kill him. Once you start altering hand wraps and things of that nature and ingesting PEDs and missing B samples, that's cheating. You should get put in jail.
Hey, Drew, I wanted to also, good to see Mr. Fox is back. I was going to ask if we could actually get his personal opinion, not from influence of anything external, but from his own observation, because I'm sure he may have heard by now about the second fight between Fury and Wilder, and in question about the gloves and what his personal thought about that is, if he has any, because he may not have, because it was not something that he was close to. But it would be interesting to know, because he's able to decipher on his own, even with his own situation, where he was able to see that something wasn't right. Because we do now know that JD's, was not as experienced in what to look for under those circumstances, and they were able to get that by him. So, but now Mr. Fox is back. I would like to ask if he has any personal thoughts or whatever about that situation.
I seen another article on YouTube, which kind of a guy was saying that he used to pull his hand back and punch. So I've never seen that done. I mean, it did look weird. The pictures look weird. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know enough about that to make a judgment. And it seemed like, like I said, it seemed like they said he pulls it back, and so the fist will be in that part of the glove. Yeah. So
yeah, the fist is in the part of where it's called the palm of the glove. So the fist and the knuckles are in the palm area. They're not up at the top in the green portion of that glove. You could actually see the hand wraps over his fingers through that slit of the palm of the glove. So, and that bulge that's under the thumb area is actually where his thumb is.
You saying that's a finger in the middle part?
That's a slit from the finger in that center portion, that round center portion of the palm. That's where Fury's fist is. It's not, his fist is not up inside the glove to the green portion where it should be. It's in the palm of the glove.
This is bad business.
I mean, the funny part is, if that's the case, his knockout ratio to me would be. So what is it? How is it helping him? Like Deontay, his glove always looked like that. His glove always. I will say that it always looks like that. If it's the palm issue, it could be the palm issue where he's doing it. I've never seen that done. I don't know how he can manipulate his hand to get that fist there, but it can be done. The picture looks weird. I'll give you that.
Allow me to offer some information to help you, because in the future this may be something that you have to look out for under your fighter and the fighters that you work with outside of your son. Because, okay, in the first fight, there was recording of him telling one of his corner assistants, pull my glove up. Okay, because he was slipping his fist in and out of the glove and putting it in the that palm portion. And in the fight, as he's throwing his jab, when you shoot your jab, you shoot your jab and you turn it over, right? He wasn't doing that. He was flipping the jab like this, which UK announcers calling the fight were saying, oh, look at this. And he was like, you see what's happening there? That gives the guy an extra 3 or 4 inches on his reach. Okay? Now, we know that Fury and Wilder both have over an 80-inch reach, and Fury's maybe a little bit longer than Wilder's. But if you're talking about him getting an additional 3 to 4 inches on his reach because he slid his fist down into the wrist portion of the glove, that means that's a little bit further back from Wilder than he needs to stand.
That means empty glove will be hitting him.
Right. But when he moves in close and it looks like he's slapping with his punch, he's actually hitting him with his actual fist, because the glove flops back, but the fist portion in the palm is hitting him in the head or in the back of the head, like it did in the second fight, where Wilder had lumps on the back of his head and on his back from Fury striking him with his fist. He had lumps. This is accounted.
I never did enough homework to. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with you, and it's gonna make me dig and look at it different. But I never did enough homework.
The information is out there, but this is all an education, because remember, the brother Usyk Foster, who late last year in his fight and his camp discovered foul play, it came from learning about the situation of what was going on in the second Wilder Fury fight. And then we found out upon further investigation, when we looked into the first match between them, Fury was doing it in the first fight, and it kind of escaped us. So now we know these things because all of us have gotten a genuine education under these circumstances. And if you weren't aware of it, it's great that we're having this discussion today, because you can now further protect yours and your own, under these auspices. Because I'll tell you, man, they already know they can't compete. Okay. So they're going to stack literally the cards in their favor. Just as your son mentioned that they were caught stacking the raps. They will look for every advantage, especially when they know that the man across from them is athletically gifted, has more talent and ability, and is overall better. So this is how they level up the playing field. And as long as everyone is educated on this, you can stop it at the door.
Yeah, that could be true.
Yeah, you see, Troy, what we want to bring to your attention is that this is not an isolated incident at all. That's why I don't, I understand, you're trying to look at the cup half full instead of half empty. But we're telling you, especially after the second Wilder fight, what followed that a couple of weeks later blew our minds. And that was a good catch on your end, because I've never seen that before. But the fact that they know that that's illegal, whether he knew, whether he fought like that in his country, is irrelevant, because once they're here, it's the commission's job to say, oh, whoa, that right there, can't do that. That's it. That guy got all the way to the ring, past some commissioners. That was their job, was supposed to watch that. He got all the way to the ring, and for you to catch it, and then the ref to look and say, whoa, what's that?
I'm going to take a shout out to Marshall Kaufman for actually pointing it out to me and me just acting on it. So I give that. It wasn't exact. I know what to look for. I probably would have saw it when they went to shake hands, but he saw it from the jump. So I give Marshall Kaufman his preference and say, man, look at this glove. That tape's way too high.
It's a team effort.
I looked at it, when I look at it. So I just want to give him his credit that it just wasn't me.
No doubt. Shout out to your entire team for being on top of it. Now, we mentioned Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury got all the way to the ring against Christian Hamer, and the ref looked and said, what's wrong with that glove? Detached thumb. Detached thumb. And even the announcers was like, this was the weirdest thing they've ever seen at that point. At that point. Dillian White missing B samples. That they used the guidelines of the law over in the UK, that they didn't have to go to it. But the man popped dirty. Canelo Alvarez popped dirty. What did the WBC do? They upped the allowable amounts of clenbuterol that can be found in your system. I've never seen anything like this.
And so Drew, let's back it up. Back it up to Dillian White for a minute. Not only did he pop dirty in that fight, but he switched his gloves.
He switched his gloves.
Gloves that weren't even sanctioned for the fight.
He switched his gloves. And this was supported by these sanctioning bodies. So what's happening to you, Troy, is not an isolated incident. It's not. Okay? They're doing what's in the best interest of business. It's in the best interest of business for make sure to win that fight. In my opinion, when you play with equipment, you're playing with someone's life. They tried to bust your son up. That failed because he wasn't allowed to. And your son beat his ass. Bottom line, he beat his ass. And since they couldn't get him with the gloves, because they would have played games, okay, well, he got to whatever round it was, round 10, round 12, but look at his face. He looked like he was actually in a fight. And they would have used that to jerk your son on the cars. But since that failed, they had to fix in. Why? They had that racist woman there whom we had. Now, I wasn't even checking for her. And then that next day, all of this stuff came up with her on Twitter, calling Michelle Obama all kinds of monkeys.
LeBron
The leader of
James.
Black Lives Matter. She should die in prison. She's an open Trump supporter. So you was against the grain from the time you signed that fight. The time, and it was on short notice. You was against the grain.
She's married to the guy that heads up the WBA.
And she's married to the guy. Y'all guys was against it as soon as you accepted the fight. Y'all was already down 6 rounds before the bell rang. Gloves and all.
Yeah. I mean, we're so used to stacked decks, man, to be honest, man. You even want to be a top side of, like I said, when Mike agreed really to this fight, he agreed actually to sub for 6 guys. So it was Stanionis, what's the name wasn't even in the picture at the time. Collazo. We never. I think he might have came in. He might Stanionis, Collazo. Because truth of the matter, they asked us. I'll be honest with you, they asked us to fight Stanionis, and we agreed. And then they came back. Well, we're gonna use Collazo. So I can't say Stanionis' team turned it down. Can't say they didn't. But we were asked to fight Stanionis. We agreed to it. Then we got the word. Well, he's still subbing again. Then we got the word that Cody Crawley tested COVID, and we decided to take that route. But, we were subbing for like 6 guys. So anybody that came in there, like I said, we don't say much, to be honest, because there's so much being said. It's no need. Like, when you got to defend yourself, it's so much being said right now that we just go with it. I mean, do I have to point the finger and say you cheated, or you cheated? I mean, the facts are speaking for themselves. It hurt her more than it hurt anything else. I didn't have to go on Twitter and say, you racist, and I'm glad you shut it down. It's hurting her more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? The whatever they try to do failed. I mean, my son ended up, to be honest, he probably feels better about himself. Now he would want that W, don't get me wrong. But with the support he's getting, he wouldn't have done this many interviews that he's doing if he would have won that fight. That wasn't a position where people say, oh, he beat Maestro. You beat Terrence Crawford. He's getting the attention like he upset Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So I said it that night. You can hear me on there. They skinning that glove. Was not skin. Well, whatever you want to say. I mean, just make them correct it. You know what I'm saying? So, I said it right there. It's going to take me. I accused them of. Now, can I say, oh, they did it on purpose or whatever? I can just tell you honestly that there are some, like when we fought Dominican, there was no watching of anything. It was just like, get ready, man, and fight. So that's why I say in certain countries, there ain't no commission to watch gloves and stuff like that. And if you've never fought, now if he fought here a couple times, then I'd be the first to say, man, you fought in the U.S., you fought in Vegas, or you fought in California. But if all your fights been in Colombia, I can't tell you what Colombia is like. I probably wouldn't even let him fight. Even in Dominican, they were like, your fighter can fight, but the guy won't take no blood test. Like, it's too far. We don't really have the money to afford the blood test. So when you go to those countries, like these guys going down to Mexico and fight, they're not getting the same protection they're getting from our commission, even though in this case our commission was a little different. It's kind of some places like run of the mill, Joe. You're taking a chance. No blood test. If the guy or they'll pay him to go take one. In this case, the guy was like, man, I can't take off work to go get a blood test. So one of my fighters couldn't go with us to Dominican. But they would have gave him the fight. They said if he's willing to let him fight without the blood test, if your man will fight him without him taking a blood test, you can still come. But he won't go take a blood test. He said he can't afford to take off work. So you got countries that if you're not taking, come on, think about gloves. You're talking about you get hepatitis, AIDS, anything else. You're not taking a blood test. Forget about not winning the fight. Now we're talking about life-threatening situations that aren't being accountable for the stuff that's being accountable in the States. So that's why I can say when he said, I don't know, somebody has to know. And without me saying, oh, he cheated, somebody has to tell me who was supposed to be back there. I don't think they'll come up with that. So I can go with the cheating thing, but I'm just letting you say it. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all say it.
I got you.
Three of y'all said they was cheating. I'm with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. No, I totally get it. And I see everybody in the super chat. I'm just letting the brother Troy Fox cook. Salute to everybody in super chat. I appreciate y'all. this right here, I wanted to make sure it was said. He said, Diana Branch, salute to you. She says, things don't change until it has a voice.
Exactly.
And that's why we're here having this conversation, because it must be said. Because too long, we've been told that it's impossible. I'll tell you something else that we've been saying. And Deontay Wilder, I'm sure you probably have heard it. He insists that he was drugged in that fight, and I believe 100%. And slowly, after the third fight got signed, that was a whole nother thing I didn't want to discuss. But when you had pros coming about, trainers and fighters, former fighters alike, Robert Garcia saying, yeah, there was definitely something wrong with him. And then Evander Holyfield coming out saying, yo, you don't forget how to fight in one night. He was getting hit with everything.
But everybody beforehand, I mean, not to defend Tyson Fury, everybody beforehand knew he really didn't have skills. I think, okay, this is how I looked at it. Before all cheating, he went to another coach, a better coach, that probably asked you, why do you do all this slapping stuff? Why aren't you sitting on your punches? Because everybody else was trying to get him to lose weight. Everybody else saying too big. He went to a coach and said, no, we can use this way. You're 270 pounds, and you're going to fight like a 270-pound guy. I mean, Deontay Wilder admitted, I got an outfit that was a 40 to 50 pounds, and I did a 30-minute walkout in that 40, 50-pound outfit. I had a guy fight MMA one time, had like a 30-pound helmet on. It was at least about 15 pounds, let me say that. And I was like, why you just didn't paint this at a styrofoam or something? It's too much to carry. And then he did a lot of dancing coming through. I'm saying, you think that 30 pounds didn't weigh in on your performance? Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Well, you could have had a helmet made of plastic or something. You had a real helmet. This was a real, looked like Warriors helmet. I was like, this shit is heavy as shit. And Deontay, look how slow he walked out with all that stuff. Now, it was a hell of an outfit.
He walked out slow.
If you're telling me this outfit weighed close to 50 pounds, it was a bad decision. And look, Tyson Fury went out there. He got carried. He didn't even walk. He got carried out there. My legs were fresh.
Now let me say this. Let me say this. He walked out, from my understanding, from what I was told, the same outfit that he wore when he fought King Kong Ortiz weighed the same amount. He didn't have the same results in the ring.
Nah, that was a whole different outfit. They say he had a
no. I'm telling you, Troy, because I talked to someone in the camp, and that's what I was told. That's number one. Number two,
he was the one that claimed with the outfit. I wouldn't know. He was the one that said the outfit was it wore my legs out.
I'm gonna introduce you to the media mind fuck. This the media mind fuck. He never said that was why he lost. He never said that. Kevin Iole put out a snippet of him saying that, but didn't release the whole interview. He didn't release the whole interview. Okay,
I wouldn't say that he lost, but a lot of factors can factor in to why. And he's a fighter. One thing about fighters, a good fighter is not really going. No matter what, Deontay Wilder. Usually fighters don't really call it. They be like, man, it'll get it just due. That's not why he beat me, because it sounds like you're making up excuses. So I'm not, like I said, I don't even want to get in, and I don't have enough information on that situation to make
that's
comments.
Fair.
That's fair. But we're trying, with all due respect, Coach, we're trying to bring you up to speed with information.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're not I don't know about Drew and Trick, but I'm meeting you for the first time right now this evening, and respectfully, I don't know how many times you may have spoken to the other brothers on the panel, but this is the thing: when you have a connection with people, just like we have established with you right now this evening, this is fresh, this is organic. From whatever we discussed this evening, we can take that and say in the future we spoke to Coach Troy, and this is what he said. This is this, and people can question that because they don't know. Okay, but we could say, well, go back and look at the tape for yourself. We were there. He was there. We had a conversation. We talked for XYZ length of time. So what we're trying to do with you right now is bring you up to speed, because we have had the pertinent conversations inside the camp that has revealed things that are counter to what the media has put out, because they wanted to put out a certain type of image to get a certain type of reaction.
That's right.
From people. And it has matriculated even into the professional side of the sport, meaning trainers, fighters, and people that are managers and things like that, to the degree that they're almost on the fence to admit that there can be wrongdoing in boxing.
Oh, I definitely know it's wrongdoing in boxing.
Well, no, let me finish, sir.
Go ahead.
That right there is insulting my intelligence, because I do have a historical look on the sport. I do a show every Thursday night where we cover the history of the sport. And there are accounts of people being drugged. There are accounts of people having something foreign in their gloves. There are accounts of fighters being told that they have to lose, otherwise they lose their life. Okay, this is real. But when you have people who want to be, doubting Thomases, so to speak, because they might be attached to the sport in some capacity, just because it hasn't happened to you or someone you know doesn't mean it didn't exist prior to you arriving on the scene. So when we try to share with you, it's not us trying to pass gossip. We're trying to inform you because of what has happened with you recently. This adds to your knowledge of what to look out for in the future. But I would advise, do your own research, brother. Then you will see that there is more to it. And remember, you just said yourself, they were looking to ask your son to fight Stanionis and had him on standby. Obviously, they were trying to find the best fit for them, not for your son. At the end of the day, that's what you have to look out for. What's the best fit for you? And the more that you educate yourself on all of this, the better you can stand against everything you face. That's what I wanted to share with you.
Gotcha. Now, let me say this. I don't doubt anything none of y'all say. When you asked me a question, I said, I really don't have enough information to give you an answer. That's my, if I figure I got the answers, then I give it. I wasn't doubting none of y'all said. I just don't have the information to go with you on it. If all of y'all read the same thing and you shared that knowledge with them and they were able to see it now, I'm a fact check. I'll be the first to get back at you and say, after looking into it, but I can comment now. But if you ask me a question about that situation now, and when that came to that situation, I watched the fight, and that was about it. That's all. And I haven't really read. I mean, because I think when they said about the point, they were trying to say that Mark Breland did it, then I was kind of like, somebody got to show me something to make me think Mark Breland poisoned this guy.
I got you.
But it could have happened. I never said it didn't happen.
Right.
But I met Mark Breland. He seemed like a nice guy. Everybody seemed like a nice guy. But one thing I can't say is I know for a fact Mark Breland poisoned Deontay Wilder. But I can't say Deontay Wilder wasn't poisoned either. I just don't have the knowledge to make and I don't want an educated guess on, he could be cheating, because a lot of times other people do. I just say, I don't know. And if I don't know, I'm going to do what you said, fact check. Then I'll get back with you at what I found out. And I'm still fact checking on a bunch of people that wrote stuff and doing stuff. So I'm still at the end of the day, I'm still going to have to give my opinion based on my fact check. But right now, I've never even really dug into it besides seeing a few pictures of the glove. I never talked to nobody. I never seen the show. I know Deontay was saying something about Mark Breland. That's the extent. I really don't have enough knowledge really to speak on Deontay Wilder and that. So that would that be? I'm not doubting, but to get it, I'm not doubting you. I just, when you ask my opinion, I'm gonna give you my opinion based on not having the knowledge or any facts. It's just a straight opinion.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough, bro. That's fair enough. And the purpose of me inviting you on the show is to bring you up to speed and let you know that what happened with you and your son, it's not isolated, and you weren't the only ones. It's a lot of people, and that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand. I'm glad this happened. I'm glad that y'all lost, but I'm glad it happened, and there's now there's such controversy because it brings a magnifying glance on everything because we're still making a big stink about what happened to Deontay, but right after Deontay, they tried to do O'Shaquie Foster wrong. And then they tried to do, they did y'all wrong. And then just last night, Austin Trout won, but they tried to do something to his gloves. I mean, not to his gloves, this guy, Alejandro, just last night in Dubai. And that got caught. So this is an ongoing thing. So now they can't call us crazy or making excuses or anything because now we're saying, look at the facts. Wilder, Trout, Foster, you. Look at the facts. Follow the bouncing ball. And then look at the fighters that are involved. I mean, this show really isn't, it's about Fury's behavior, but not about Fury. Because if you do the research on Fury right now, he can't fight in his country. You know that?
No, I mean, like it's nope.
He has his license suspended. Why? Because he popped dirty. Him and his cousin popped dirty, right? And they said, well, how are you popping dirty? He said, well, I ate meat from an uncastrated boar. That's why my levels was high. And they said, wait a minute. And then he had a farmer said, yeah, I sold him the boar. The farmer comes forth later on and says, I didn't sell him anything. They said, well, why'd you lie to us? He said, well, he promised me X amount of dollars and he never paid me. Huh?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then they said, well, Fury, you want to answer these allegations? He says, no, I'm just going to let my license go. I'm going to fight in America, my new home. That happened, brother. What I just told you is the short version, but that happened. That happened. And he's allowed to come here and make millions of dollars and jerk the American champion with the support of certain Americans, American media, and these American fight fans that don't know shit. And I'm just being honest. Everything I told you is the short version. Tyson Fury has a damn near criminal record in boxing, and he's baby. The man did a 2-year suspension. He served a 2-year suspension. Nobody on ESPN talks about that. Yeah, you remember it. But nobody on ESPN talks about it. They just talk about how he was depressed and fought depression and got back in the saddle. They ignore the fact that Deontay Wilder picked him up off the couch and said, man, stop feeling sorry for yourself. I'm going to give you a 50-50 payday because nobody else will fight me. He did that for him, and this is what he got in return. So these are the things that we talk about because it happened to Deontay on $1 million level, and it happened to your son on $1,000 level. So nothing is above these guys, man. Above or beneath them. They will do it. And not even going to get into Tyson Fury's ties with drug kingpins and everything. Everything. All right. I done did a documentary on the guy. All right. The guy's not good. It's the Trump-Obama thing. If Obama had the exact background as Donald Trump, you think he'd have been near the White House? And I'm not talking politics. I'm talking about what it is. The answer is no. The answer is no. So this is what we're dealing with here. All right. And then you look down. Who was judging your son? A racist woman. So what do we do when we say that there's a racist, there's a racial element involved? The media,
and to add to the Obama situation, Michelle Obama, one of the finest, if not the finest, first lady in history, right?
Yep.
She comes in and she wears a sleeveless dress, and they go in an uproar. How dare she? How distasteful! But the last first lady had nude pictorials, and they never said a thing.
I mean,
is that not a double standard?
It's a double standard, and
that's what not a double standard.
You see, Troy,
my conscience does not allow me to cycle in the BS because I've been on this earth a while. And I've seen with my own eyes and experienced through my own life experiences that this is not made with us in mind. Okay. So that means that you have to have a different mindset. And when you are accepting of those who establish what's considered fair play, you are a victim and at the mercy of the play, period. The best thing to do and the best option is not to play their game.
Not to play their game. And Troy, let me bring you up to speed. Like, again, I appreciate you being here because we are looking for an education also right now. But I think it's important for me to share this. We refer to guys like ESPN and Fox News and all these other guys, and we refer to them, even the writers, Kevin Iole, Rick Glasser, all of those guys that know boxing. We refer to them as old media because they don't tell the full story. Everything that I just told you about Fury, you just said you didn't know. Okay? Because they don't talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Right now on this show, there's 211 people in here. Smash my like button. Okay? There's probably, I'd say about 70 people right now beating at the door trying to get in to disrupt my chat and call me all kinds of niggas right now. Right now. But I have my chat set up a certain way that the troublemakers can't get in. And while I'm speaking facts and telling you, I just told you the truth about Tyson Fury. I'm telling you the truth about what happens in this sport that old media won't talk about. Rick Glass is not talking about it. What happened with your son? Tim Bradley didn't say anything I didn't see. Andre Ward hasn't said anything. Usyk Smith hasn't said anything. Bernard Hopkins hasn't said anything. But they have a whole lot to say when it comes to a guy like Deontay Wilder. A whole lot to say, a whole lot of negative to say, a whole lot of underhanded stuff to say. But they're not going to say anything about this. This guy, Stephen A. Smith, who I call Stephen A. Snitch, he hasn't said anything. It happened. Okay, it's working itself out. And right now, I'm telling you, when this video goes up, look at the comment section and look at how many people are going to call me out of my name. Because I'm telling the truth. This is not opinion. Everything I'm telling you is factual. I'm not on Twitter, but I tell people who are on Twitter, yo, look, when Andre Ward says something, please hit me up. When the Charlo says something, please hit me up. When Tim Bradley says, when Usyk Smith says something, you know who did say something about this, who reported on it? Kevin Iole reported, and I don't really have no love for Kevin Iole either, but he reported on this. But Chris Colbert, has he said anything about this? Why is it Oshaki Foster's the only person talking about this? And us and Tate Jones. This is why I reached out to you, to let you know this incident that happened with you and your son is not isolated. It was deliberate, it was on purpose, and it is consistent with the atmosphere of boxing right now, which is why this drives me up a wall. The equipment, I know they might do that in other countries, but they also have to be aware of the laws here. In New York City, where I'm at, you can't make a right turn on red unless the sign says. So when someone comes down here from another state and they make a right turn on red, the cop pulls them over and says, oh, I could do it in Pennsylvania. You can't do it here. You're going to take this ticket. Ignorance isn't an excuse. So when he came here, I'm sure that his team knew what the rules and regulations were. And there was no excuse for him to have the gloves like that. That's why I say when people do things like that, they're trying to, in my opinion, that's damn near attempted murder, man. And this is just my opinion. All right? And it backfired on them. They didn't get away with it with the gloves, but they got away with it at that scores table. And it's disgusting what they did to you guys. It's disgusting. But it's consistent with the atmosphere. Because this is the fourth incident that we've caught. And we're talking about it. And the only reason why old media is talking about it is because that woman got caught. But they're not talking about Oshaki Foster. And they're calling Deontay Wilder a liar. This man a liar who hasn't given anybody any reason to show that he's a liar. Meanwhile, you got a guy like Tyson Fury who is a liar, 2-year suspension. Okay, doesn't have a license to fight in this country right now.
We have one more example just from last night. The WBA Bantamweight Championship fight that took place between Guillermo Rigondeaux and John Rael Casimiro.
Mm-hmm.
The Bantamweight division is 118 pounds. Guillermo Rigondeaux has fought at Bantamweight and Super Bantamweight for the majority of his career. He's a 2-time Olympic medalist. has done a tremendous job when he's been allowed to compete in the sport. But Guillermo Rigondeaux at that weight class has been so magnificent that people have avoided him. They've moved away from the divisions. Networks have frozen him out of contractual opportunities. And let's not forget that he's a black Cuban, okay, that doesn't speak any English and doesn't care about speaking English. But in this particular fight against this particular opponent, because the opponent that they tried to put in with him, Casimiro, was Nonito Donaire, and they had their own druthers that they couldn't work out. But so in steps Rigondeaux, who deservingly was given this opportunity. Casimiro is coming off of multiple knockouts in his last few fights. He kind of fights in an orthodox Manny Pacquiao type style, or at least he tries to emulate Manny. But what a lot of people don't know, and I got wind of in the 12th hour, not the 11th hour, but in the 12th hour, just moments before the fight, Guillermo was no longer fighting a bantamweight fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Casimiro came in at 140 plus pounds. 140 plus pounds. He weighed in the day before at 118. But he entered the ring a junior welterweight. Now, we all know that there are weight classes for a reason, right? Guillermo was asked to go up to a higher weight to take on Vasily Lomachenko, who even refused to meet him at a catch weight. That was the first time that he did something outside the box where they were trying to take the luster off of his career. And he did end up suffering a loss in that fight. Lomachenko was just too big for him. And that was at 130 pounds. So if he's fighting this man for the WBA.
How much weight do you think Lomachenko gained?
Hold on.
Sure.
If he's fighting this man at 118 pounds, the limit, but the WBA doesn't have a rehydration clause, so you can go up to whatever, right? But is it now a fair fight? And you listen to the word that has come out since the fight, they're crapping all on Guillermo because he fought defensively to protect himself against a man who was multiple weight classes above him.
So the weigh-in don't...
And he made it to the 12th round, which they were hoping that he didn't, because the guy he was fighting wasn't skilled enough to lay a glove on him.
Mm-hmm.
But they complained about him not standing and fighting the guy. Why? To get his head knocked off? Those of us who are old enough to remember the fight that took place between Arturo Gatti and Joey Gamache. Quite similar circumstances where Gatti, after the weigh-in for their lightweight match, came in, junior lightweight, I believe it was at that time. He came in 147 pounds. And he knocked the dickens out of Joey Gamache. The man was taken out of the ring on a stretcher. It was criminal.
Yeah.
Because he didn't contractually obligate himself to fight a welterweight.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to be fighting at junior lightweight. Gotti gained 18 pounds after the weigh-in.
Wow.
This man came in at 140 plus. Guillermo came in at 122. The weigh-in was 118. He came in at 122. He did his job. But these people want to see him get killed out there because he's
on
good
that
at
one,
what he
man.
does.
I can say this: Guillermo got to be the only person boxer alive that only gains 4 pounds before they come in. Only person. So I mean, if he really is too small for those weight classes, that's just how it is. Really, everybody comes in 15 pounds or better. There's nobody that weighs in at 147 and comes in to fight at 151. There's nobody. No 152. That's just how people rehydrate. If you and then think about it, because I got to get ready to go. But think about it. Okay. And this is what Mike was telling me. And Mike's better at this stuff than me. Everybody that has died in the ring or had an injury, he said 90% of them had that rehydration clause where they stopped the man from rehydrating and told him how to rehydrate. And I know this for a fact. When we went over to London and my son fought, they had a rule over there that on Wednesday he had to weigh a certain amount, but the weigh-in is on Friday. So we had to leave the press conference, go put him in a sauna, sweat off 4 pounds so he could come into their Wednesday rule of hydration. And then that ain't how we were cutting weight. So that messed up our weight cut. Then when we made the weight, don't get wrong, we made the weight, but it's how you make the weight. It's a scientific way for taking weight off and putting weight back on. If you start tampering with that and telling people what they should come back in at and what they shouldn't at, you're stopping their brain and everything from getting the proper hydration. Bottom line is, you can't really tell a person how they can rehydrate, but you can make them make weight. Now, if this guy came in 3 pounds overweight and Guillermo took the fight anyway, then I say that's on Guillermo. You shouldn't, because if a guy can only get within 3 pounds, you know he's going to blow up. So that would have been on Guillermo. I mean, Devin Alexander, the last fight, he came in at a whole different weight class, 154. They were scheduled at 147. He couldn't even get down past 154. So I'm telling you, man, I'm with you on some of the things. But when it comes to rehydrate, everybody's body is built different, and there's no fighter that only comes in. I want to see the fighter that you can prove that says I only gained like 5 pounds for my rehydration, because it's going to be far and few. They're all 15 or better. Every fighter that's out there. That's why they look so crazy at the weigh-ins. They look all kind of, narrowed down. So sometimes you move up a weight class, you feel better, and that's on you. Sometimes you might keep suffering, keep struggling, trying to make a weight class, and that might hurt you in the long run. But when you start telling guys how to rehydrate and how much weight they should lose and stuff like that, when they start monitoring that, I guarantee you see a lot of deaths in this sport, because the average guy is gaining that much weight. They're going to gain that much weight, and they're going to put it on. That's why sometimes some of the guys don't even we're not doing it. If it's not in our contract, we're not going to tell you what we're coming into. And I can't say nothing, because I know we'll put on some pounds too. So we might not put on 30 pounds. We're not going to put on 30, but we'll put on some pounds after the weigh-in. Looking at them before the weigh-in and after, we'll put on some. There's nobody out here. I mean, Rigondeaux is just in a position where he wants big money, and his weight class doesn't. I think that's really his issue. If it was 150, he could make 115, but there's no money down there. No money. The money doesn't start at least to 126, and that's his problem. He just cannot get bigger. Even last night, I agree with you. He looked like the guy was just too heavy, and but his thing was, it wasn't that he wanted to trade with him. Throw something more. Even Ronnie Shields, you got to throw. He was clearly making a dude miss and would not counter. So, I mean, Rigondeaux, I think he has the best footwork in the business. Don't get me wrong. That shit looked beautiful. I watched it. That shit looked beautiful. Yeah. But I'm like, why aren't you counter punching off this? You're making a miss. And if you can sit there and clown him and make faces at him, you can hit him too. So, I mean,
I'll tell you why. Because he was in survival mode. He was in there being brave by not getting knocked out. That man was several weight classes above him, and I just gave the example of what Arturo Gatti did to Joey Gamache. That would have happened to Guillermo last night if he let that man hit him. And he hit the guy with some solid shots, and maybe if the guy was closer to the weight he was supposed to be in, it would have done a little more damage to the dude. So you see what I'm saying?
I mean, before we get into something, so you want to monitor them if they make weight, and then you want to monitor them on what they weigh the next day.
No, I didn't say I wanted to monitor anything. I just gave you information on what took place. And I also gave my opinion on what I feel is criminal. That's totally different.
Trick, you got a question? Go ahead. Are you sitting there? I'm sorry, bro. You sitting there all that time. It was good, eh? Go ahead, bro. You on mute, bro. I can't hear you, brother.
He got his mic on. Okay. Get that mic on.
Your mic's not on.
Look, before I go, at least we'll say, hey, does Trick know if he want to ask? I mean, he's in.
Yeah. Salute to KP. He said, don't forget Fury's previous trainer showed what his glove looked like coming straight from the manufacturer on Instagram. They were broken in and flat as a pancake. Of course, man. We know. Lars D, salute. I see you. And if I didn't read your super chat, man, I just don't want to overtalk the guest. You know what I'm saying? Troy is a guest. Right. And, you know, you just want to get everything out. You know what I mean? I can't hear you, Trick. I can't hear you. I mean, take the headpiece out. Take the headpiece out. Watch it. What's good? Yeah, you might want to take the headpiece out. He was sitting there waiting patiently the whole time. Damn it.
Speak, Trick.
Shade Girl, salute. I see y'all in the chat, man. Listen, Troy, everybody in the chat, man, we're all in agreement. What happened to you guys was absolutely criminal, man, and we're here to support, man. We're here to support because, like I said, the atmosphere of boxing is just it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And there we go. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I kicked the wrong person out.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I kicked damn it. I removed Troy out by accident. I don't know how the hell that happened. God damn it. Well, hopefully he'll be back. We can hear you now. Trick, say something, Trick.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Accidentally.
Yeah. I'm trying to unlock in on my earphones. But you can hear me, right? Y'all hear me?
Yeah. Hold on, let me text him to him. Come back.
What the hell is this earbuds, man? Hold on.
I had to send him a text real quick.
I ain't acting stupid, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, I wanted him to hop back on because I wanted to show him something because he was talking about, going to Mexico and the commission down there, how they don't look for anything, or they don't care. I got to show you all something if he comes back on.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this? I'm always working to work now for whatever reason. Hold on. All right, you hear me, Drew?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. Damn, gotta get 2 hands free. This bullshit, man. Hope this work.
But yeah, the purpose. There you go. My bad.
I'm back real quick now.
Okay, real quick, because I know you got to go. Go ahead, Ant.
You was talking earlier about the commissions and stuff like that in Mexico. Man, I'm glad when Drew told me all this cheating stuff was gonna go on, I thought about something. So man, I went next door. A buddy of mine, his grandfather, his dad used to take him to the fights in Tijuana. Now, this right here, it looks like an avocado, but it's not. Damn, y'all see that?
Yeah.
Looks like an avocado, it's not. This right here is a bowl. You know what they use these for? They use these to make tortillas and the masa stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mexican people. Well, this is called a tecate or something like that, and this is called, starts with an M. But what he told me what they used to do back in the day, they would, like y'all saw my skimming gloves. He said they would take the boxing glove. They won't use this. They'll get one of these, but it'll be longer. Stick it inside the boxing glove and get the padding out. Straight knuckles. So before Antonio Margarito started fighting over here, what was he fighting at?
Mexico.
In Tijuana. So I'm not saying that he did it over there, but he might have did it over there and then come over here with the hand wraps. So yes, there's definitely cheating in boxing. So he told me, I was like, what? He said, yeah. He said he should take these, like I say, but take that piece and grind the inside of that boxing glove. So it said is so when you look at Tyson Fury's gloves, you see nothing but knuckles.
Mhm.
So
in a case like that, like I said, that's where the commission lies. A lot of places don't let him
right.
touch the gloves until he's ready to put them on. But like I said, then that would have to be. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. That have to, but it's high up. It's high up. It ain't just the average dude watching a person put gloves on. For you to have those gloves like that, look, cheating happens. I'm not doubting anything. Anybody tell me any type of stories, cheating happens. I'm with that. I'm just saying it wasn't much. I mean, a lot of people are speaking for us, so we're not really speaking out. Let's just say that we still got legal stuff going on. So basically,
Right.
we was told, let people speak for us, not people speaking for you. Because last thing they need is somebody bringing up a clip from an artist and say, you said that
Correct.
you pointed directly at so and so and you
That's
accused
right.
him, and now it was him, or now it was him. I don't know who was in the back. I can just tell you exactly what went on and what I saw. And when I do find valid information, because believe me, I'm gonna check on everything y'all said. I love doing this, but I just don't like making comments without having the knowledge to back my comment up. So I really don't have no knowledge on
Listen,
on
Troy,
none of this stuff.
that's much love and appreciation, and that's correct. You ain't got to speak on it because we got you.
I
We
appreciate
got
that,
you,
fellas. I appreciate that.
and we are quality control. And Fury, I believe, made the block hot, and this is why a lot of the things are getting caught now. You understand?
Right.
And we got pros on it like Oshaki Foster. He's on it. You know what I'm saying? And they tried to do Austin Trout dirty, and we're on it. So for legal purposes, I understand there's a lot of things that you won't be able to say, and that's fine. But don't worry, because we got you. We are quality control. We are going to speak on it. I ain't got no lawsuit going on. I'm just a supporter of the sport, and I want the right thing done. And you was done
Appreciate that,
a
fella.
disservice, man. And it's not
I
fair.
appreciate
And I'm
that.
glad we had this conversation to let you and your team and your son know y'all are not alone in this. Y'all not the only ones. This is not something that just happened. All right. This is consistent with the atmosphere, and we just want to make things right. That's all we want, brother. And I
So,
appreciate
Drew,
your
let
time,
me
man.
ask you this. I gotta go, but can I'm gonna text you or whatever. Let me do a little homework. Can I get can I come back in? Maybe
Absolutely.
15 to 20 minutes on another one. I don't want to talk everybody
Absolutely.
head there. But yeah,
Open
I
door
want to do some
policy
fact
for
check.
me.
Yeah,
Open door policy.
Hey, Stormy, I appreciate the knowledge. You best believe I'm gonna check everything you said. He said, Trick, you didn't get a chance to really come in that much, but I'm gonna check you out too. But I appreciate all the love, man, and
It's okay.
especially for my son, man. It makes me feel good, man, just to see him doing what he's doing, man. So I appreciate that, man. Thank y'all, man, for having me.
Whenever he's in the ring next, you holler at me, and we're gonna promote the nonsense out of it. We're gonna make him a
I
rock
got you,
star.
man.
Hook about crook for real. We're gonna make him a rock star for real, for real.
I got you, man. I appreciate y'all. Thanks
I
a lot.
appreciate you, man. Hit me up anytime, man. Anytime.
Okay, man. Take
All
it
right,
easy,
brother.
fellas.
Take it
All
All
easy.
right. Take care.
And Drew and Stormy, man, I want to say this, man. See, this is where we come in, man. We need to start, writing letters to these commissions to try to give fighters jobs. I mean, get ex-fighters jobs. They don't have any money. My thing is, you can replace these judges with these ex-fighters.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, last week and the week before last, this week and last week, we had basically two bad decisions, depending on how you look at the Rigo fight or whatever. Bad decisions. I mean, they're getting judges, they're getting people to make them judges. They either bank tellers, they stockbrokers, they're managers at a golf club, a country club, and you put them in around the ring and judging fights.
Judging millionaires. Some of them judging millionaires. How is a person making $50,000 a year gonna be in there judging a millionaire?
Yeah.
That never fought a day in their life. Don't know what is the wait, hold on. Can anyone tell me what the criteria is to become a judge, a boxing judge? What's the criteria?
Man, that's
other than being 80 years old and being able to be bribed. Some of these guys is like 67 years old. I'm like, nah, they ain't watched the fight. They was asleep. It was nap time. Can anyone tell me I'm being serious. What's the real criteria to become a boxing judge? What is the criteria?
My gosh, man, Harold Letterman was a pharmacist.
In real life, that was what his.
Yeah, he was a pharmacist. Well, he was a pharmacist.
What,
Never
Stormy,
put a glove on his life.
What's the criteria to be a judge in boxing?
Oh,
What is
man.
it? When you fill out the application, what do you have to put there?
Privilege.
There it is. There it is. And no one can refute that. No one can debate that. Because what did we just see done to Michael Fox?
Mm-hmm.
That woman, and I'm being very honest, man, that would be the last. If you told me you line up 3 judges and say one of them is a racist and they're going to rip off the black fighter, the last person I would have looked at was Gloria. And I'm being honest.
Yeah.
The last person I would have looked at was Gloria. I'd be like, can't be grandma right here. Can't be, can it? Come on, man. This is where we at. And then when we talk about it and we say, see?
Drew, did you notice how every time I made my points, I had something substantial to substantiate what I was saying?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't about trying to be argumentative. It was about being revealing, which is what old media does not do.
Right.
They don't reveal, everything. They don't pull the curtain back. If anything, they're trying to cover things up.
Right.
Bring me another cloth over here. There's still the end sticking out. We got to cover that. That's what they do. And when I spoke about those last comments that I was making, and then, Mr. Fox was like, well, you're saying it. I said, no, I didn't say that. Mm-hmm. This is what I was saying. And then I said, it's 2 different things. You understand? Because I know what I'm saying is what I want to project. If I was trying to say something wayward or whatever, you guys know me. I'm on here all the time with you. I will say wayward, but I'm not a wayward individual. You see what I'm saying? Right. So that's the whole thing. And I'm glad that we could have that discussion, because at the end of the day, what it means, and I stated this much, look into it for yourself, people. Yeah. That's all you have to do. You don't have to take my word for it, but take my call to action to check it out for yourself. Then you can make your own assessments after that.
I want everyone to understand that first and foremost, I'm proud of the chat. They didn't just go for his head or nothing, because I believe that you guys understood. Like I said, there's a lot of pros that just looked at the Wilder situation, but they didn't look at it in depth like how we look at it, because they got their own shit they worried about. He's worried about his son. And whatever fight, he's probably running a gym. He got shit to do. He ain't got time to be running around looking at it like how we're looking at it. That's like, oh, wow, Deontay lost, okay, and he gives just his answer. But a lot of the things that I mentioned to him, did you notice that he didn't know? He didn't know that Fury didn't have a boxing license in his own country. He didn't know that. You see, you know why he didn't know that? Because the media doesn't talk about it. Here, the media here. So the media here is doing their job. Mm-hmm. They're doing their job. I meant what I said. What happened to Fox? Did Andre Ward say anything? And look, when I say these names, I'm not taking shots at them. I'm wholeheartedly asking, because these are the guys that had the biggest mouths in the world. Man, we just spoke about Bernard Hopkins. Yeah. Shame what that guy did. That guy he's a Hall of Fame fighter, no doubt. He's mentioned with the Marvin Haglers of the world. But as a man, I'm questioning his integrity. What the F is he doing? You got all this stuff to say. You got all of this stuff to say about Errol and a lot of other things that you just remain silent on. Where were you during the racist emails? Where were you? This guy has no Fury has no fighting license, but he came over here and did everything in the world. Where are you on that? Andre Ward, did you make one tweet about what happened to Fox? Huh? Ishe Smith? With your Ali post of him with a bending Everlast gloves from 1930? Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Ishe Smith, Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, Stephen A. Smith. This was big news. I'm not on Twitter. Can the chat help me? Can you go to their Twitters and did they see anything like shameful? Charlos, race don't matter. Did they say anything about this? Doesn't Maul hold the WBA belt? Doesn't he hold one? Doesn't come on. Are you not saying anything? Why is no one saying anything? What did ESPN say about this? Did they just say, yeah, you know, Fugazi outcome and Gloria Martinez is under investigation, but on to those Yankees? Or did they just stop everything and say, breaking news, this happened? What does this mean for boxing?
And I gave the example of Rigo from last night. Did anybody say anything about that? About that weight gain? Did those announcers even say, my goodness, after yesterday's weigh-in, you know, Casemiro looks tons larger tonight than Guillermo. I wonder how much weight he put on. That conversation never took place in 12 rounds.
No one said anything. But then when we come on here, we say, yo, we're quality control. We're quality control. Oh, the LDBC. Man, fuck y'all, man. Because we're talking about this stuff. When you brought up with Arturo Gatti, do y'all remember that fight?
Yep.
He nearly killed Joey Gamache,
He nearly killed. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this.
Play it?
Pull that clip up.
Gatti versus, how you spell his name?
Gamache, just like it sounds. Gamache.
Jesus Christ, I remember this.
Hey, yo, let me say something real quick, man. I just spoke to Blue about this. You know, I remember when I watched ESPN, right, and they showed at the bottom of the telestrator. It said Deontay Wilder was involved in a altercation with his upcoming opponent, Dominic Brazil, allegedly punched him. So Stephen A. Smith went on his podcast like the next day talking bad about Wilder. Man, Wilder's nothing but a thug. He hangs out with thugs, and then found out that wasn't true. He never apologized. So I'm gonna take you back. Remember when Anthony Joshua Goon threw that water on Blue and his son?
Bro, yes.
He got on the show the next day. Why didn't they say, hey, look, Joshua, you're not conducting yourself like a champion. Why you let your man throw the water on that reporter and his son?
Let me bring you up to speed. For those of you that don't know. Okay, first of all, that incident is still on YouTube. Well, it should be. That was smash my like button. Y'all getting it this evening. Okay, that was the Big Baby Miller versus AJ conference. Okay, Blue Blood was with, I believe, his daughter. I believe it was his daughter, and he was standing next. It was his son. He was standing, who was underage, standing next to Ness, and that was the security guard, Eddie Hearn's security guard. And they went back and forth. I think Ness was going back and forth with him. The dude took the water and sprayed him, and it got on Ness camera, and I believe it got on Blue, and it got on the kid. When you go to all the comment sections, you know what people were saying? Rather than addressing the person who squirted the water, they were saying, well, why did Blue bring his kid there? I didn't know it was not a kid-friendly place to be. There was no guns or no gangsters there.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? That was news. That was news. And it could have got handled a certain way, but I ain't going to go there. But that was news. Y'all understand?
And Drew, my thing is, like I say, Stephen A. Smith was like, and Max Kellerman. Hey, he wasn't, Wilder wasn't promoting himself like a champion. He's not conducting himself like a champion. You know, and I heard they were at the press conference. They saw what happened. They had Joshua on the next day. Nothing was said.
Nothing was said. It's about who they want to press. Yep. Now, this is Gamache. This is Arturo Gatti versus Gamache. Look at how this ends.
Vicious combination at the end.
Look at this.
I was watching that live, man.
I saw that live.
Yep.
Listen, man. I ain't gonna show no more of that. That's not my video. Y'all know how it is. Okay, that right there had a lot to do with weight. Y'all understand? And Rigo was doing everything he could. Now, why is it that taunting wins rounds for Tyson Fury in the first fight, but when you saw a little bit of that from Rigo yesterday, he didn't win no rounds?
They deducted points from
him.
Yo, and I'll tell you something. If Rigo would have tried to stand and fight Casemiro, that would have happened to him last night.
He'd have ended up like
not because Casemiro is a devastating fighter and all of that. It was because he was terribly outweighed, and it wasn't in his best interest to stand in there and let the bigger man pound on him.
Can I ask y'all a question? And I might talk about this tomorrow, but I have to ask. Does boxing hate Cubans?
Absolutely.
Does pro boxing hate Cubans?
Absolutely.
Rigo, Lara, Ortiz,
Casamayor.
Casemiro got some paydays. Casemiro got some paydays. Got some. But Rigo, Lara, Ortiz. And they fought in this era where there was work.
Yeah.
Does pro boxing hate Cubans?
Yes.
It's a question.
Undoubtedly.
Wow.
But I'm racist though, right? That's a real question. That's a real question. They took home gold, right? In this Olympics, right? Cuba got gold, right? I pray for every last one of them because I hope they see what's going on. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. But when we get on here and talk about this, y'all got everything to say.
And notice what I said when I described earlier Guillermo, and I'll describe King Kong the same.
Mm-hmm.
Black Cubans.
Yeah.
Black Cubans.
Be specific, exactly.
Because there are white Cubans.
Oh, yeah, I
there
know.
Are.
Yeah.
I know.
Matter of fact, if they don't open their mouth and speak with their accents and everything like that, you wouldn't even know.
Shout out to Thomas. Y'all remember that? Lara and Paul Williams?
Yep.
That was retarded. When they read that scorecard, I was like,
yeah.
How? If y'all have not watched this fight, go, and I got love for Paul, but get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. There was no, Lara hit him with so many lefts. Paul was begging for a right.
Yeah.
And when they announced that, I said, you know what? This fight right here, I was like, I can't do this no more. I can't. But like the boxing smut I am, I come back. And here I am, not satisfied. We are battered wives. We keep coming back. Why?
Listen,
he loves me. He loves me.
Listen, Lara was so good in his last performance, it'll probably be another year before he gets another one. You understand? Did you see what he did to that kid?
Listen, Sensei. Let's go back. Rigo's biggest win in his career was his worst loss. Nonito Donaire. He beat Donaire like a drum. He lost from Metallica. Fran, tick, 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 tock. Bust his ass. Got the win and been paying for it ever since. Unbelievable. Now, Fox did point out that unfortunately in those lower weight classes, there ain't no bread. But that don't mean you rip the man. You don't rip the man. Oh shoot. You know what just dawned on me? where's the Axeman? Is he still chained up in the basement, Nicholas Walters? Where is he? Trick, didn't you hit him up, or did I hit him up?
I think you hit him up.
Where is he? Is he fighting anymore?
He took the money and ran, bro. Remember, it was with that fight, with him giving up on his stool, that they started calling Vasily, what was it? Loma quit. What was they calling him? That nickname? No Maschenko or something.
Yeah.
But Walters, when he gave up that thing, because remember, we saw Walters beat up. What's his name?
Nonito.
He beat the crap out of him. Yeah.
He slept him.
And against Loma, he didn't even try. But he got paid. And I'll tell you, I think he got paid twice.
Yeah.
And he has stayed away from the game ever since.
Yo, salute to Jermaine Bean. He said Usyk won't get half the slander in a few weeks when he do the same thing versus AJ. Mainstream media will say masterclass and clinic. Watch. And you know what? At this point, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm not. Can y'all imagine? Everyone's expecting AJ to win. I mean, really think about it. Lars D, I see y'all, DOG, all my brothers and sisters from the UK. What's the atmosphere like in reference to that fight? Is it 50-50 or is it 60-40 AJ, 70-30 AJ, 80-20 AJ? What is it?
And where are they fighting at?
I know that Lars D and I are usually on the same page with some of that stuff, but for this one, we differ. I think that Lars is saying that he thinks that AJ is going to smash Usyk. But I have seen AJ have problems with the smaller guys. And this is a smaller guy who can fight and who can box and is an Olympian. This is not a cakewalk or a walk in the park for AJ. This is probably the most livest dog AJ ever been in with. And understand what it would mean to Usyk to be able to go from cruiserweight champ undisputed to take this guy's belt. And let's put it like this. In the first fight, AJ had trouble with Andy, right? Do you not think that Usyk is better skilled than Andy?
As far as footwork, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Footwork, yes.
Footwork, ring IQ, conditioning, his pedigree. Yes.
Yeah.
Go to conditioning real quick. That's very important. Talk about that. The conditioning. We could talk about physical conditioning and we could talk about psychological conditioning. Andy won that fight because of AJ's deficiencies. Usyk has won and accomplished what he had because he's good. Nobody was talking about Andy before the AJ fight. Matter of fact, Bob Arum had cut him from Top Rank and everything because he was woefully out of shape and stuff like. He was still beating people, but he wasn't setting the world on fire. Otherwise, Bob would have retained him. Remember, there is a Latin base, and Top Rank heavily promotes that. But Andy wasn't it. This man right here could be a horrible nightmare for AJ. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I'm not saying, yes, he's going to beat AJ hands down. AJ should be favored. But if he's beaten, remember my words. You'll understand. The man has the pedigree. And when we talk about these things, you have to understand an undefeated fighter is always tough to hand him his first loss. When you have someone who's accomplished, both amateur and professional, as Usyk has been, and he's beaten some decent guys.
along his path at the cruiserweight division. But everybody knows the heavyweights are a different kettle of fish. But in this era of heavyweights, these are not the toughest guys in the world you're looking at.
No.
They're not. AJ is not the toughest guy in the world. Now, I'll ask you this. Is Usyk better than Pulev?
Yes.
Okay. Did AJ not have trouble with Pulev?
In spots, yes.
And
In
Pulev
spots.
was
In
begging
spots,
to be
right.
knocked out.
Yeah.
He was begging to be knocked out.
Yep. Mike Fuller, is this right here going to play an instrumental part if it goes 12? I'd say this is something to consider. This right there. I mean, look at the atmosphere.
I said that without saying
You know,
that.
and
There you go. Right.
Remember,
and Stormy, let me say
the
this.
sensei, right?
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
sensei. I can say that without saying that. You just have to listen to what I lay out for you. I said a moment ago, I said, do you realize what it would mean for him to have been undisputed at cruiserweight and to come up and take all those belts from AJ? What it would mean. Not to him.
Mm-hmm. Salute to the big bro, BFTB Boxing in the building. He says salute to the family, the chat, and the panel. This fight is the least talked about fight between top heavyweights that I've ever seen. I purposely didn't talk about it to see who would. Well, here we are. And this is true. This is true. This is it. There's no buzz. Oh, yo, can I share something with y'all? I ain't gonna harp on it too much longer. But Hot Trolls, did y'all get enough buzz from me? Did y'all? Thank you for the payment, though. But I'm in America talking about that fight selling out in person. Hot Trolls, you dumbasses. Hey, I'm giving y'all shine. I can't believe y'all fell for that crap, man. Y'all are that. I just did a video prior to that talking about it, and then I came back and did another video purposely trolling. But thanks for the views, though. But y'all should be high-fiving me. Thank you for talking about
K. What was that? K the K
the cool K the KKK the K como K. Y'all wasted precious minutes doing a response video on a troll video. Y'all can't be serious. Instead of saying, Drew, thank you, because you're talking about a fight. Mind you, AJ's a worldwide star, right? Y'all just saw the brother BFTB. He ain't talking about it. Did Black talk about it? Did 78 talk about it? I talked about it in 2 videos. One was real, one was trolling. One was trolling. Because guess what? Nobody over here is talking about it. So the least you can say is thank you. Dummies. What the fuck? Yo, listen. Talk boxing and stop talking about us. Stop. Stop. Y'all paid me. Do you know y'all? Oh, my God. Anyway, ain't nobody talking about that fight over here. I'm talking about it because I don't care. I actually care about boxing. How many times have you heard me say, you know what? We might got problems with the UK fans, but there's some good-ass fans because you know why? They ride or die for their fighters. Am I lying? Am I lying? Do they not ride or die for their fighters? Do I not say the sport in boxing would be more bigger in America if we rode for our fighters like how they ride for their fighters? Mexicans, Europeans, Ukrainians, America, we all for. I root for that guy. I root for that guy. I don't like how that guy thought. I don't like Floyd. I don't like Shane Mosley. I don't like this guy. There's always some shit with us. There's always some shit with us. But instead of saying, hey, man, at least this guy's talking about us, y'all tried to clown me and y'all paid me. And y'all didn't even know that y'all was being trolled. Y'all are retarded. I just needed to say that, man. I just needed to say that. I can't believe y'all. You know what? Get my views up. Go watch the video. K. Jesus Christ. And even after I got in the chat and said, yo, y'all don't understand sarcasm? Y'all don't get it? No, you meant it. You meant it. Because when I hear them trying to ridicule me, I hear it in a British accent. You meant it. Yo, no, you meant it.
Hey, who's standing in line with COVID out there? Who's standing in line buying these tickets?
Who's standing in line buying these tickets? Show me the video. After I just did a video prior to that about the same two fighters saying, yo, I hope this shit goes down because it's spiking over there, this new Delta strain. I hope everybody's safe over there. I hope it goes down. How do I go from that to show me the video of actual people? Y'all didn't know when y'all being trolled, y'all dumbasses. How about this? How many views did your response videos get as opposed to the views that I got asking what a K is? All the way to the bank. Thank you. Shout out to the trolls banging on the door. You can't get in. Hey. There's not a saddle made big enough to ride mines. You dig? It's been a great month thanks to y'all asses. Talk boxing. Stop talking about me. And shout out to that four-eyed bastard that's asking me to release because I flagged your shit. And I know you're watching.
Waldo.
Yeah, where's Waldo looking ass? DFTB buried you like last year looking ass. Now you writing emails of what you wanted your video to do, or comical, whatever. Yeah, in order to be comical, you have to be funny. You're not funny. I know what you was trying to do. Shout out to Watcher, because he's the one that sent it to me. I said, I don't care what they're saying about me. He said, no, Drew, he got a lot of your video playing there. No. Listen, why did I flag you and not flag everybody else that responded to that video when I wasn't talking to them? Why? You have my material playing on your channel, stupid. That's a no-no. That you don't do. You can put up my picture of me looking stupid. Let me help you.
You big dummy.
You big dummy. You big dummy. Deep dummy. You got to be funny, dummy. You got to be funny. You're not funny. Q. Yeah. You paid me. Dummy. Deep dummy. So good luck. I don't know how it's going to work out for you. If they release the flag, you can re-release the video. That video means nothing. You got clowned, you tool. Talk boxing and stop talking about people. I did it on purpose, you dumbasses. I did it on purpose. Jesus Christ. All the way to the bank. Right now, there's trolls outside the castle banging on the damn drawbridge trying to get in. You can't get in. You can't get in.
He was trying to be funny, but he don't even know what's funny.
Excuse me.
He can't make the difference between what's serious and what's funny. So he ain't nothing but a big dummy.
You big dummy.
I mean, damn. I was dude. You see, I gotta tell y'all the truth. I told a story.
Excuse me.
I told a story about how I had to fight a guy from the UK named Botch because the nigga done stole all the milk and went to the moon. That really happened. For this whole family. Scotch, Watch, Crotch, and together they form a super evil group called the Ops. I fought them all.
Screwed his woman. Her name was Biatch.
Biatch. Too easy,
hey, y'all,
man.
Drew, Cop the Aborigines said they still watching Benny Hill reruns. Y'all remember Benny Hill?
Oh,
Wrong for that, man.
Do I remember? Wait, hold on. Let me read this
Oh,
super chat
man.
real quick. Salute to Jermaine Bean. He said, Witherspoon and Chisora came off the bench and Usyk ran. Once that uppercut whizzed by his head, Usyk running. Hey, man, we going to see. Do I know who Benny Hill is? Bruh, hold on.
Oh,
Of
man.
course I do. Of course I know who Benny.
Oh,
Man,
man,
Benny Hill.
that's funny.
Benny Hill is a legend.
Used to watch that shit back in the day.
Benny Hill is a legend.
Next week, mate. Next week.
Next week, mate. Next week.
But Drew, let me
see?
say this. Drew, let me say
Go
this.
ahead.
You know, if y'all don't talk or we don't talk about something, they ain't gonna talk about it unless we say something, right? And let's
Damn
go
right.
back to just go back on. We got Friends of Kendo on the show. Nobody was talking about Friends. What them dudes do on was it Fight Hype or one of them other channels? What they gonna do? Go write an article on it.
Yep.
Get an article. You know what I'm saying? So,
The story, you reached out to him. The story broke on my show. Next thing you know,
Exactly.
it's on Boxing Scene. It's on Fight Hype. Now they want to talk about it. Oh, salute to my brother Rizzy Owens. He's gonna have Frez on there. Go tune when Frez is on his show. Everyone go flood the chat.
Yeah.
Because we support each other.
He had him on already. It was
Oh, he had him
like
on?
about
I missed
30
it.
minutes before you went live. That's
I
when they
fucking
did it.
missed it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch the rerun.
Yeah, watch the rerun. Everybody that didn't get a chance to see it, they could go to Reggie's channel, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens too. And I told Reggie that I was gonna check it out after this because I was, committed to your
Right.
show tonight.
Yeah, I was getting ready for this. But this is what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff is breaking news here. That's why they don't like us. That's what it's really about. That's why they are chronically on our Disney so hard they need a saddle. When Deontay Wilder broke his silence, who'd he talk to?
Oh, they was mad. Oh my gosh.
Oh, they were mad.
Woo.
They were mad. That's what it's
Mad.
all about. That's what Fresno Kendo broke some breaking news. He didn't do it with old media. He did it right here with us. They were mad. So when I troll y'all funky asses, and y'all think y'all got the one up on me, do you understand there's nothing that I do here that's not calculated? Everything is calculated. You fools. This dumb Where's Waldo looking ass dude, let me be very clear. The video you did trying to play me, you only got like 100-something views on it, if I remember correctly. The trolling video I did got like 1,300. Who's winning? So I don't know how it's going to work out with you and the flag situation. If it gets unflagged, I don't care. I'm satisfied putting you through the motions.
I'll tell him how it's gonna work out for him.
Go ahead.
It ain't.
Yeah, he said it ain't.
Hey, you writing emails to me begging me? I got them. Trying to explain to me what you're trying to do, like I'm illiterate. I know what you're trying to do. People talk about me every day. Don't care. What you're not gonna do is use my content. At no point in those emails did you apologize for using your content. You didn't even say, let me do the video over, and can I do the video over without using your content? Could you just release the flag? You didn't even ask me that, brother. You didn't even ask me. You didn't even ask me. Do the clowning. I don't care. But you're going through these motions. What do I always say, family? Documentation beats conversation. You will never F with me on that level. I ain't got to do all of this. You notice I ain't even say your name. I ain't got to plug your channel. I ain't got to say your video. I ain't got to do none of that. While you talk, I write. I type. And we take it from there. So good luck to you. It might the flag might get lifted. You might be able to play the video. You might not. Don't know. Don't care. But I put you through the motions. Stop playing with me. Stop saying my name. If my name gets you more views, really think about that. You got to say my name to get views. Motherfucker, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not important. Why are you saying my name? Why are you not talking about AJ? And nice little plug. He said, oh, yeah, something that I covered already. Yeah, I covered it too. So what? I also did a video about fighting some guy from your country named Botch on a move with a cup of milk that was stolen from New York. And
Why
that
you
video got like
worried about
1,300
what you
views.
covered? That's ridiculous.
Let your content speak for itself, man. Get off my nuts. No, I'm sorry. Stay on them. Because I always know when somebody was talking about me. Why? I get like another 100 subs in like 3 days. All the way to the bank. I am Drew Titan. You see that name? The Druth? I didn't name myself. I was knighted. They said, no, you got to call yourself the Blue Blood said, nope, you got to change your name, buddy. And y'all know why. I woke up one morning and the UK was mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Oh, hey, Drew. Yeah, how many black people you arrested? A lot less than Sugar Hill did. Stop playing with me.
And
Stop
Sugar
playing.
Hill might arrest you, so you better keep Sugar Hill's name out your mouth. Because he don't like these people right here.
My people, these people, they don't support. No, sir. They don't support. When y'all gonna stop? Y'all learn to stop playing with me. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. I might talk about the black Cubans getting shafted. That might be my topic tomorrow. But whatever I choose to talk about here, I get love. No matter where I'm from, I'm right at home. Keep my content off your mother effing page. You can use my face. I don't care whatever you can do within the guidelines of YouTube. I don't care. You should have saw this email. He made it seem like I was mad that he was talking about me. Yo, people talk about me every day. I don't care. What you're not going to do is use my content. See, this right here is work. This is not a business. I always said I ain't get on YouTube to make money, but if I make money, I ain't going to duck it.
Right.
So now this is a business, and I'm gonna treat it accordingly because I'm getting paid pretty well now. So every time you talk about Drew Titan, you might get an extra view. But what happens to me? People say, "Who's he talking about?" And someone that might respect your boxing opinion and might think you're funny, they're gonna come over here and say, "Well, who's this guy he's talking about?" And they come over here and they love me and they stay. So thank you. Michael Fuller, Sugar Hill was a cop in Detroit. He was a cop. Yeah. So y'all doing me a solid. Well, I ain't gonna belabor the point, man. I just want to touch on that. That shit is crazy. I want to touch on that, like how these clones and these wannabes want to touch on me. Hit the gym, chest, triceps, back, biceps, do squats every day, do abs every day, get your diet right in the fucking kitchen. And your look is a byproduct of how you take care of yourself.
Right.
All right. Stop looking at me and hating on me and trying to find flaws. All right. We're all different. All right. Why are you looking at me looking for flaws? You know what? Get your girl on here and have her point out the flaws. Get your girl on here and I'll take off my shirt. You take off your shirt and we'll see what's popping. Get your girl on here. Guarantee she'll be like, no, you need to listen to him when he starts talking about health and wellness. And I don't know everything. There's questions I'm going to ask New Fat Boy Fitness, Blu-ray, Hard Body JTmo. But what I do know is I look better than your ass. That's what I know. I got more subs than your ass. People like, trust, and respect me. Because all I want to do is talk boxing and health and wellness. Why y'all talking about me? I don't know. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. AJ's the fighter. Talk about him. Usyk's the fighter. Talk about him. Chisora, Wilder. Talk about them. The fuck you talking about me? I don't know. You using sleep over me? Great. Keep losing sleep. I'm going all the way to the bank. With that being said, Trey, let them know how they can find you.
Oh, look at me on Facebook, Anthony Carter. On Instagram, Trick_Noty. You can find me here on Drew Titan. Drew Titan Show.
Yep. Sensei. Man needs no introduction, but I want you to do it anyway. Let's go. Let's get.
Everybody can find me right here on YouTube. Stormy B Man is the channel. Join us through over the week. We got the Tuesday Tussle, 8 p.m. Central. We got the Three Wise Men of Boxing, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central. On Friday nights, we got the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormy B Man, 8 p.m. Central. And I'm here Sunday nights with the Druth. So that's where it is. That's what's happening. And if you ain't there, you're a damn square.
There it is.
And let me say one thing before we get out of here.
Go ahead, bro.
Anybody that's gonna be in Vegas for the weekend, I'm gonna be out there in Vegas. So look for me, man. Be out there in Vegas for the fight.
No diggity. Which fight?
Oh, Pac-Man and Ugas.
Yeah, for the
He said which fight?
For the assholes in the back that don't know.
Yeah, I'll be there, man.
Which fight?
I'll be flying in. I'll be flying in Wednesday.
No doubt.
Yep.
All right, with that being said, Chill is on. They're talking about Rigo. Let's go head up to Black Fight Fan and support, because that's what we do. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the entire LDBC. And I'll see y'all in the morning.
Move!